Netflix just released a new featurette with our new Iron Fist, Danny Rand. We got a little more information. We got a few moments of new footage. And with me to talk about it is our very own Joe Starr.
Hi.
Hi, Joe Starr.
Hey there.
So a lot of what we see in this video, we've already seen in the trailer. But there were some other moments. We're going to sort of break it all down. It starts with Danny Rand, played by Finn Jones, who, of course, I will only call Sir Loris because, I mean...
Because he's the Knight of Flowers.
What else is his name?
Yeah.
He is walking through New York, and he says, I haven't been here in 15 years. He believes he's going to be received with open arms. He's told to sell his company that you see him here staring up at so he can buy himself some shoes. And he realizes that the world has changed. He goes into the company, and he sees the Mitchum children, the Meacham children.
The Rand Corporation.
Rand Corporation?
It's like Wayne Tech, but with Rand instead of Wayne.
He sees Ward and Joy Meacham very confused. They're like, wait, but you're dead. But you're not dead. But get out of here. And they kick Danny Rand out of his own building.
So far, everything you're doing so much more entertaining than the actual trailer.
Well, then we get this quote that I love. Danny just wants to do the right thing, but he has this fire within him. And he starts beating up these very nice security guards that work for him at the Rand Corporation instead of just being let out like a normal person.
Right.
Whatever, you weird jerk. But
So this is like the trailer footage sort of interjected with Finn Jones talking about the character.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's Finn who says he's got the fire within him.
Right.
And also it's very disconcerting as you're watching the video because it goes from Finn Jones in his regular accent, which is British, into Danny Rand, which is American. And the whole time you're like, but wait.
What are you talking about, Knight of Flowers?
Oh, God. And then we get deeper into it with Colleen Wing asking Danny Rand, where did you train? And he answers, you can't really get there from here. So where is he talking about?
So Danny's talking about the mystical hidden city of Kunlun. It's somewhere through a hidden portal in the Tibetan mountains, I believe. It's a mystical city that you can't quite get to from here. Like you can't take an Uber. There's a portal to it, at least in the comics, that opens like every X amount of years. There's a couple of other like hidden entrances to it, but yeah, not a place he found on Yelp.
The assumption is he got there through the plane crash that he was in with his parents and somehow stumbled into this Tibetan wonderland.
Yeah, so in the comics, they're on an expedition that goes awry. His parents and the kid. Because that's the kind of thing that rich people do with their kids is go on these dangerous, dumb expeditions. They're attacked by wolves. The parents die saving him, and monks from Kunlun discover him and take him in.
Here, we do not have the gray. It seems like there is just sort of a plane crash, and then suddenly he wakes up and there are wolves, or there are not wolves. There
Wolf
are
monks.
But we will know more when we actually see the show. But then we hear him say, there's a force that runs through the universe, the fire of the fist, and Danny can ignite it. He's been told his whole life there's a mythical dark force in the world, and he didn't really believe that they were real. Now,
so the force is chi. So I don't know.
Chi.
I don't know if this is like the series sort of trying to back away from white guy does Chinese mythology stuff good by like taking words like chi out of it, but I don't know. But the result is it just sort of blands it up to there's a force. Force
is a good word. Force is a great branding word.
Yeah, great branding. I wish a franchise would use the word force in regards to it flowing through every living creature.
Right? And it's surrounding us and being part of like a larger thing, maybe?
Yeah.
But the thing is he doesn't believe that it's out there, but he's been to this mystical city.
Yeah, that was a bizarre sort of line to me. Was he's literally raised in a city that's sort of in another dimension, or at least sort of a plane that's parallel with ours. That's literally an old fantasy wushu movie come to life. You know, in the comics he gets his powers by plunging his fists into a dragon. So I don't.
God, I hope they do that in the show.
So the line is curious to me. He never really believed that there were dark forces out there, and it's like you have dragon fire hands, man. Like what do you? All right.
And at one point we do actually see the Dragonfire hand light up, which is pretty cool. And then later on he says, I have a vision of total victory and nothing else. And over that we actually get to see some like cool martial arts stuff. But I guess the big question here, Joe, is why did Netflix put this out? This is very similar to what we saw in the trailer. The only difference is now we've got Finn Jones. Finn Jones, who some people have been nervous about because there have been some stills that don't make him look super badass.
Yeah.
Do you think Netflix is nervous?
So, obviously I can't hide my bias. I haven't been very impressed by anything really that we've seen so far. I think Netflix could be a little nervous about this one. It's sort of an unknown quantity. There's already been there's already been a fair amount of controversy around Danny Rand sort of as a throwback 70s character that, doesn't quite, it's not a very like current character. He's not very well known, but not just that, he also doesn't have a hook. Like Jessica Jones had like a really good hook. It had something to say. The character was very specific and well defined, and the hook was also that you've never really seen anything like her in a Netflix show before.
Right.
It had the Purple Man. It had these very defined hooks, and Iron Fist doesn't really have a very well defined hook, and so I think that was what the purpose of this video was supposed to be saying, hey guys, like here's Iron Fist, but they didn't do that. Didn't.
And also, the video is titled "I Am Danny."
I'm Danny,
which is like the least badass. I am Luke.
Look, I'm sure
Jessica.
I'm sure there's a lot of Dannys out there that could really kick my ass, but
sure,
like,
totally.
But
that's weird branding. Like, why not I am Iron Fist? I'm Danny. I'm here to talk about my show.
So I think the big reaction I think has been this looks like Arrow. It feels like Arrow.
Flashbacks.
In terms of, Arrow, which you can see me discuss weekly in greater detail on Screen Junkies Plus on Flash and Friends, Fridays at 2 o'clock.
You
Watch
really
our
should.
interview with Kevin Smith and Violet Bean.
You definitely should.
It feels like this rich kid whose parents died with him. He grew up on an island and he's trained. He comes back after years when everyone thought he was dead, and then they keep doing Flash. But it feels like an episode of Arrow with a character that also feels a little Tony Stark and a little Bruce Wayne. And I think they really had a chance with this video to say, but here's why Danny Rand is different.
Right.
And they didn't. They used such broad language with like there's an energy force and stuff like that, and they really just they went really broad and bland instead of saying here's why Iron Fist is going to feel different. There's kung fu, there's chi, like there's all these different elements. There's Colleen Wing, there's Shang-Chi, there's all these amazing characters in this cool world.
Yeah.
And they just sort of went really sort of bland and broad. So
You just totally left out my new favorite discovery of the day. Thanks, Joe Star. Louis Tan. Hello.
yes, let's talk
about getting to Iron Fisted.
Let's talk about Louis Tan for a minute. The other thing that we didn't see in this featurette on a kung fu series is much kung fu.
There's we see him jump over a taxi and very little else. Luke Cage pushed that so hard. Like Luke Cage really was like, you want to see something awesome? Here's like this incredible video of him getting like tearing up an entire hallway with a car door.
Yeah,
that was so rad.
Daredevil led with the very like old boy-esque fight scenes, which is something very new. I say this looks like Arrow with no disrespect intended, because that show really does the action and really brings it. So if you're going to bring a very similar show to the Marvel Netflix, which has all been very great and well received, like you should be able to show us something better than what the CW does on a weekly basis with Arrow. You really should. Show us Louis Tan, who's playing Shang-Chi in this. He's amazing. Check out the dude's Twitter. Check out his Instagram, his training videos. The guy's
so
awesome.
cool.
He's not using a stunt double.
Yeah.
He's not constantly in a mask. And really all this showed us was a few seconds of the Night of Flowers stunt double, like doing some neat things that I've already seen in Daredevil.
Well, you brought up Iron Man, you brought up Batman. One of the things that we talked about before is Iron Fist is supposed to be really charismatic.
Yes.
I feel like We had an opportunity here to like showcase some charisma.
That's sort of the other thing with him is he's very sort of cocky and funny like Hawkeye is in the comics. Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye is less of that. He's more of like a dad joke, sort of like, oh I hate Mondays kind of guy. But Danny Rand is supposed to be very sort of bright and funny. He's a smartass, whereas Matt Murdock is sort of is charismatic, but ultimately very Catholic and sad, like me. And Luke Cage and Jessica Jones are very defined. And then Danny Rand is sort of supposed to be this like cocky, like, I'm rich. Like, come on, guys. We haven't seen him really kick anything, and we haven't really seen him out clever anything. So I don't feel good about this one. And I like this comic a lot. If you haven't read Matt Fraction's Iron Fist, check it out. It's one of my very favorite Marvel comics.
We still don't know. We still have to wait for the show to come out, but I think it's pretty safe to say this panel, that featurette didn't. I am Danny didn't make me go, well, I want you to be my new BFF.
I want to watch Danny.
But
I don't.
Go to YouTube, check out the whole video, and then let us know, what do you think? Are you excited for this? Does this make you want to see more of the series? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe. You can always click here for more Screen Junkies news. Thanks for being with us.